What's up guys, this is Kyle from Vapor Hut, driven by you, fueled by vapor, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Mini Volt from the Council of Vapor. Let me start by saying this setup with the Cubus, which my next review and tutorial will be on, is amazing. This is my new favorite go-to setup. Now let me tell you why, because you might be thinking to yourself, isn't that a tiny battery, 1300 mAh battery? How could that possibly get you through the day? But what you have to understand is the lower your ohms, the faster your battery will drain. Whereas the opposite is true as well. The higher the ohms, the slower your battery will drain. So with the Cubus, I'm using the 1.5 ohm Clapton. I have the Mini Volt at 20 watts, and this lasts me about 9 hours, which is awesome. I mean, that's a full day for most people. And now the other thing I did to preserve my battery life and my juice and atomizers was I upped my nic level with this little guy. So I don't have to hit it quite as often. I put a 10.5 in this, and I find 2-3 puffs and I'm good to go. That drastically increases the battery life of your device. So let's first talk about the feeling of the Mini Volt. It's phenomenal. It's real carbon fiber and it has this rubber coated anodized aluminum on the rest of the device. This does not feel like a 20 watt iStick, I'll tell you that. And I really like how the interface works. You don't hit up or down to just change your wattage. You have to hold the firing button with up to go ahead and change your wattage, and the firing button with down in order to change soft, standard, or power in terms of how hard the device is going to hit. And what that seems to do is basically if you have it on power, it's like it pushes your 20 watts or your 30 watts or whatever you have it set to, it pushes that instantly. Whereas if you have it set to standard, it's like it pushes 5 watts lower than that and ramps you up to what you have it set to. And if you have it in soft mode, it's like it's 10 watts lower than that and it slowly gets you up to what you had it set at. Kind of a cool feature. I find I normally just run this in standard mode, again, to kind of preserve the battery life. If you really wanted to preserve the battery life, you could go with soft. But my rationale is if I have it on soft, it means I'm going to be taking longer pulls, which might actually end up using more battery than just having it on standard and taking shorter pulls. Now there are only 2 things about the Mini Volt that I don't like. The first one is after 10 minutes, this device turns off. 10 minutes doesn't seem like a long time, but if you have a higher nic level in here, you might not be hitting this every 5 or so minutes. It might be 10-15 minutes before you hit it again. So when you do pick it up, so many times throughout the day I go to hit it and I go, oh crap, it's off. And I have to 5 clicks, 5 clicks, 5 clicks, and then I see this Council of Vapor screen and it's back on. Kind of annoying. I think they could have just done without that, or at least made it kind of optional, like had some kind of hold all the buttons to turn on an auto off function. Not the biggest deal, but I think with Council of Vapor's next box mod, they could just remove that function entirely. The second drawback, although this is a 1300 mAh battery, it takes about 3 hours to fully charge, from dead to fully charged. What would have been awesome is if they had put a 2 amp charger in this little guy where you could plug it in, 30-45 minutes, fully charged, you're ready to go for the day. That would have been really cool. I don't know if there's some kind of technical limitations that would stop you from being able to do that, but I think that would have been really nice for the Mini Volt. But other than those 2 things, like I said, this is my new favorite device. It's small, it's portable, I can throw it in a pocket. It's dense enough to feel like you're holding something, you know, it doesn't feel like a piece of plastic, it doesn't feel cheap at all, but it's not so big that you have to find an appropriate pocket to hold the device. And I almost forgot, the Mini Volt also fires down to 0.2 ohms, but here's the thing, you're probably not going to want to build that low or put a tank on here that is that low because the battery will go extremely quickly. Let's say you put a 0.3 ohm build on the Mini Volt, when your battery, and you're pushing 40 watts, when your battery gets to about halfway, it's going to do the whole battery sag thing. So you go to fire it and it drops. Just under halfway, 40 watts is gonna say low battery when you try to fire it. That's why I found 20 watts seems to be perfect. I can run this thing almost down to the battery indicator is gone before this thing dies on me at 20 watts. So whether you're a new user looking for a small device that can fit in a pocket or a purse, or you're an experienced user and you're looking for a great backup, or something that's just kind of portable when you're running errands or you're going out to the bars, something that's small that you can easily conceal, easily fit in any pocket, the Mini Volt is for you. But yeah, that is my review of the Mini Volt from the Council of Vapor. They just did an excellent job on this device. Definitely get your hands on one. And if you guys need to see a tutorial on how to set up and use the Mini Volt, just go ahead and click on this link. Otherwise, this has been Kyle from Vapor Hut, driven by you, fueled by vapor. Have a great day, guys.